Section 1. Unpacking IPSAS 28. The basics for public sector finance. Imagine your local government. It handles a lot of money. It borrows money, invests money, and manages complex financial deals. Just like businesses, governments need clear rules for how they report these financial activities. This is where International Public Sector Accounting Standard, or IPSAS 28, comes into play. IPSAS 28 specifically deals with financial instruments presentation. In simple terms, it's a rule book. It tells public sector entities like governments and their agencies how they should show their financial instruments in their financial statements. This standard helps make sure everyone presents this information in a similar, understandable way. Think of it as a common language for government financial dealings. So, why was IPSAS 28 even created? Before standards like these, governments might have reported their financial dealings in many different ways. This made it very hard to compare one government's financial health with another. It was also difficult for citizens, investors, or other organizations to truly understand a government's financial position. IPSAS 28, developed by the International Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, or IPSAS, aims to boost transparency and comparability. It wants to ensure that when a government talks about its debts or investments, the information is clear. This clarity is vital for accountability. It helps everyone see how public money is being managed and the financial risks involved. Now, you might wonder who exactly needs to follow IPSAS 28. This standard is designed for all public sector entities. This includes national governments, regional governments like states or provinces, and local governments like cities or councils. It also applies to other public sector bodies, such as government agencies or international organizations, if they prepare financial statements under the IPSAS framework. The goal is broad adoption. When more public sector entities use IPSAS 28, it becomes easier to get a global picture of public finances. This consistency is super helpful for international bodies, lenders, and anyone analyzing government performance across borders, ensuring everyone is on the same page. Finally, what does presentation in IPSAS 28 really mean? It's not just about listing numbers. Presentation covers how financial instruments are classified. For example, is something a financial liability, which is money owed, or an equity instrument representing ownership, though rarer in pure government context. It also dictates whether certain financial assets and liabilities can be offset against each other in the balance sheet. Furthermore, IPSAS 28 outlines the specific disclosures required. This means entities must provide detailed notes explaining their financial instruments, the risks associated with them, and how they manage those risks. This detailed information helps users of financial statements make informed decisions, which is the ultimate goal. Section 2. Core Principles and Comparisons of IPSAS 28. IPSAS 28 lays down principles for classifying financial instruments, distinguishing between financial liabilities and equity instruments. For public sector entities, distinguishing debt from other forms of financing is crucial. Imagine a government issues bonds to raise money. IPSAS 28 clarifies these bonds as liabilities. The standard also provides rules on when financial assets and liabilities can be offset. Showing them separately usually gives a more complete picture of an entity's financial position. IPSAS 28 covers many types of financial instruments used by public sector entities. This includes cash, deposits, loans, bonds, and even derivatives. However, it excludes interests in subsidiaries, associates, or joint ventures. Employee benefit plans also have their own specific accounting rules. IPSAS 28 is based on IFRS standard IAS 32, promoting consistency in reporting. It includes specific guidance for the public sector, addressing unique financial instruments like concessionary loans. These differences reflect the unique nature of public finance. For example, a government issuing treasury bonds for infrastructure projects. IPSAS 28 guides how these bonds are presented on the balance sheet. It ensures citizens and stakeholders understand the government's financial commitments and resources. Section 3. The impact and importance of IPSAS 28. So why is a standard like IPSAS 28 so incredibly important for the public sector? The primary reason boils down to accountability and transparency. Governments manage vast amounts of public money, collected from taxpayers and other sources. It is absolutely essential that they are accountable for how these funds are used and managed. IPSAS 28 helps achieve this by requiring clear and consistent presentation of financial instruments. This clarity makes it harder to hide financial problems or misrepresent a government's financial position. When financial information is transparent, It empowers citizens, oversight bodies and the media to hold governments responsible for their financial stewardship. This leads to better governance overall. The benefits of IPSAS 28 extend directly to the users of public sector financial statements. These users can be very diverse: citizens, taxpayers, elected officials, lenders, credit rating agencies, and even other governments or international organizations. Clear presentation rules mean these users can better understand a government's financial health. They can assess its ability to meet its short-term obligations and long-term commitments. They can also get a better picture of the financial risks the government is exposed to, such as interest rate risk or credit risk from its investments or loans. This improved understanding facilitates more informed economic decision-making by all stakeholders involved. If we were to summarize the key takeaways from IPSAS 28, they would center on clarity and comparability. The standard pushes for unambiguous presentation of financial liabilities and equity. It provides specific rules tailored for the unique context of public sector entities, ensuring that their financial realities are accurately reflected. By promoting a standardized approach, IPSAS 28 allows for meaningful comparisons between different public sector entities, or for the same entity over different periods. This comparability is crucial for benchmarking performance, identifying trends, and making sound policy decisions. Ultimately, it's about making complex financial information accessible and useful for a wide audience. In conclusion, IPSAS 28 plays a vital role in modern public financial management. Its relevance continues to grow as citizens demand more transparency and accountability from their governments. By ensuring that financial instruments are presented clearly and consistently, the standard fosters greater public trust. It supports effective oversight and helps governments manage their financial resources more prudently. As public finances become increasingly complex, the principles enshrined in IPSAS 28 provide an essential framework for navigating these challenges. It's a cornerstone for building stronger, more resilient, and more accountable public sector institutions around the world, which benefits everyone in the long run.